Hello friends, still on surds. So today I'll be looking at how to rationalize denominators of surds. Now, for instance, you may have fraction that involves surds, like a over surd b is actually a fraction that involves surds, where the denominator is an irrational number, that is surd. So for you to simplify, you're supposed to rationalize the denominator. Now, for you to rationalize the denominator of this fraction, because the goal is to make the denominator irrational, to transform the denominator from irrational number to rational number. Now, for you to do that, so you're supposed to multiply the denominator and the numerator by the surd. So this is it's going to be, to rationalize this, it's going to be a divided by surd b times surd b divided by surd b. Okay, you're going to multiply both the numerator and the denominator with surd b in order to make the denominator rational. Now, doing that, this is going to be a times surd b. It's going to be a surd b divided by surd b times surd b. It's going to be surd b square. You know surd b square, because b is double here, surd b square is going to be b. So this is equal to a surd b divided by b. So this is actually the result, okay, of rationalizing this surd, which is the denominator here. You can see b is now a rational number because it doesn't have surd again. So this is how you solve similar questions. So sometimes you may have fraction involving surds like this. For instance, a divided by b plus c, then surd d. Okay. Now you may have something like this. You can see I have three numbers. Okay, assuming that B, C, D are numbers. Now I have three numbers. One is the surd. Okay, so now you need to make the denominator rational. Okay, eliminating surd here in the denominator. And for you to do that, you're going to multiply. That's what we call conjugate. Conjugate surds. Okay, now if you have something similar to this, you need to look for the conjugate. It's no longer like this, but you follow the same process, but you need to look for the conjugate. You're going to multiply the numerator and the denominator with the conjugate surd. Now, what is the conjugate surd? Conjugate surd, like when we have plus sign here, okay, for you to get the conjugate of this whole expression in the denominator, you just need to change the sign. If it is plus sign, you change it to minus sign. Then if it is minus sign, you change it to plus sign. That is what we call conjugate. Now, for instance, the conjugate of b plus c surd d is going to be, the conjugate is going to be b minus c surd d. This is the conjugate surd. So this is the conjugate of this. So for me to rationalize this denominator, to simplify this surd, I'm going to multiply both a and this expression with the conjugate. So that is going to be a divided by b plus c surd d times b minus c surd d divided by b minus c surd d. Okay, so when I multiply this expression, so I'm going to put brackets here because every single term here is supposed to multiply every single term here. So I'm going to multiply a by all this and this, everything here by everything here. So now doing that, the goal is just to make, as I said, is to make the denominator rational. So this is a times b is going to give me ab minus a times c is going to give me ac sod d divided by now that's what we call difference of two squares. Difference of two squares is the product of their sum and their difference. Now we can see this, if you multiply this by this, that is product. You can see this is their difference. When you have minus sign is different, and when you have plus sign is sum. So using difference of two squares, so I'm going to have, I will square the first letter there, or the first term, that is b square, and the last term b square minus. So if I square this c sod d, I'm going to have c square, because if you square sod d, the square is going to cancel out the square root. You have d. Okay, so it's the same when you multiply every single term with every single term here, you're supposed to have something like this. So this is actually rational. So this denominator is rational. That is the goal. So I will be solving many examples using these rules. I have many examples to solve using this rule. Where necessary, I will use the conjugate so to rationalize the denominator. The goal, as I said, is to eliminate the sod in the denominator. That is to make the denominator rational. Okay, I have few examples. This question says rationalize sorry, I'm going to write rationalize the denominators of the following expressions. Rationalize the denominators of the following expressions. Now I have the first one. I have the first one. I have the first one. 3 divided by sod 7. That is the first one. Then the second one, 4 divided by sod 2. The third one, 3 times sod 8 divided by sod 3. The fourth one, 1 divided by 1 plus sod 2 is actually sod 2. Then the fifth one, is 2 plus sod 3 is actually 3 divided by 3 minus sod 3. Okay, I have these few questions. So now to solve. Now I'm going to rationalize the denominator of each question here. Now the first one says 3 over sod 7. So like I said, like I explained earlier, for me to rationalize this, I'm going to multiply both the numerator and the denominator with sod 7. So doing that, this is going to be 3 divided by sod 7 times by sod 7 divided by sod 7. So this is going to be 3 times sod 7 will give me 3 sod 7. Then remember, you don't multiply 3 by 7 because 3 is ordinary number, while 7 is sod 7. Okay, because the quotient of sod 7 here is 1, so you're going to multiply 1 by 3, that will give you 3, then sod 7. But here is different, you're going to multiply sod 7 by, because there are 2 sods. So sod 7 by sod 7, that is going to be sod 49. And you know the square root of sod 49, and you know the square root of 49 is actually 7. So the answer becomes 3 sod 7 divided by 7. Okay, this is the answer. You can see the denominator is now rational. So now we'll do the same here. So this is going to be 4 divided by sod 2. I'm going to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by sod 2 in order to make the denominator rational. So this is going to be sod 2 divided by sod 2. So I'll have 4 sod 2 divided by, sod 2 times sod 2 is going to give me sod 4. And you know the square root of 4, what it is? Square root of 4 is 2. So I'm having 4 sod 2 divided by 2. And you know, 4 divided by 2 is 2. So the final answer should be 2 sod 2. This is the answer. Okay. Now, I will look at the third question, which is 3 sod 8 divided by sod 3. So what I'm going to do here is this should be equal to 3 sod 8 divided by sod 3. So for me to solve this, I'm going to rationalize the denominator by multiplying both the numerator and denominator with sod 3, as usual. Now this is going to be 3 sod 8 and sod 3. That is going to give me sod 24. Then 3 sod 24. 3 sod 24 divided by sod 3 times sod 3. You know what it is? It's sod 9. And sod 9 is actually 3. Square root of 9. Okay, let me write it. That's 3. So this is the same thing as, remember, this is 24. Then I'm going to look for the factors of 24, where one has a square root and the other does not have a square root. What are the factors? I can use 6 and 4. Okay, I can use 6 and 4. This is sod. This is 3 sod 6 multiplied by 4. You know, 4 times 6 is going to be 24. So the goal is, because I can find the square root of 4, I can simplify 4, but I can't simplify 6. Okay, now divided by 3. Okay, and you know, this is sod. This is sod 9. So 9 is 3. So here 3 can cancel out 3. And I'll now have sod 6 times sod 2. Sod 6 times sod 2. What it is? Sorry, sod 4, not 2. Sod 4 rather. So sod 4 is applying the first law in the other video. First law of surds. Okay, splitting this. Then you have square root of 4, that is 2. 2 times sod 6, that is going to give me 2 sod 6. Okay, so this is the answer, 2 sod 6. Okay, now I'll do the fourth question is 1 over 1 plus sod 2. So in this case, you look at the denominator how it is. This shows that we're supposed to look for the conjugate. The conjugate of 1 plus sod 2 in order to rationalize this. Then the question is, what is the conjugate of this 1 plus sod 2? The conjugate is 1 minus. Remember I said, for you to get the conjugate, you just change the sign, the arithmetic sign. So since the sign is plus, I'm going to use minus sign. Just for you to get a conjugate, you interchange between plus and minus sign. So if the original sign is plus, you change it to minus in order to get a conjugate. If it is minus, you change it to plus. So now for me to rationalize this, I'm going to write times. So the conjugate of 1 plus surd 2 is going to be 1 minus surd 2. So I'm multiplying with this, multiplying both the numerator and the denominator with 1 minus surd 2. So doing that, so remember, I'm going to put bracket here so that everything in the first bracket will multiply everything in the second bracket. So multiplying this sort out, I'm going to have 1 times this is going to give me 1 minus surd 2 divided by, so you can use difference of 2 squares, that would be easier. But if you want to multiply out, you can say 1 times 1, that will be 1. Then 1 times minus surd 2, that will give me minus surd 2. So I will now use plus surd 2 to go. Plus surd 2 times 1, that will give me plus surd 2. Then plus surd 2 times minus surd 2, that is plus times minus, that is going to give me minus. Okay, surd 2 times surd 2, that is going to give me surd 4. Okay, now this is the same thing as, okay, 1 minus surd 2, 1 minus surd 2 divided by minus surd 2 plus surd 2 is supposed to be 0, because you can say plus surd 2 minus surd 2, that will be 0. So you now have 1 and minus 4 left, and square root of 4 is 2. So that is going to be 1 minus 2. 1 minus 2. Okay, let me use this at this juncture to explain difference of 2 squares, because if you use difference of 2 squares, it's supposed to be a lot more easier. Now, looking at this, we know that difference of 2 squares is the product of their difference and their sum. Is the product of their sum and their difference. And look at this. These numbers and these numbers are the same, but the difference is that there is plus sign here, which is sum of these two numbers, and there is minus sign here, which is difference of these two numbers. So when you talk about product, when you multiply the two, that is product. So now difference of 2 squares is the product of their sum. This is the sum and their difference. So when you have something like this, what you need to do is to square the first number and the last number. Squaring the first number, that will give me 1 square minus, remember when you talk about difference, it's minus. Okay, minus square root of 2 square. Okay, if you square this, if 1 square is going to give me 1, then the square root of 2 square, remember that the square is showing that the square root of 2 is now double. So it says square root of 2 times square root of 2, that's going to give me square root of 4, and square root of 4 is 2. So when you square this, square root of 2 is going to give me 2. So it will just give you the answer direct, 1 minus, instead of going through this process. Okay, so using difference of 2 squares, I said I'm going to explain later, is a lot more easier. So now you are going to have 1 minus 2, because 1 square is 1, then square root of 2 square is 2. So I'm going to put minus sign here. So now what I have here is 1 minus 2. So now 1 minus 2 is minus 1, because you're subtracting the big from the small. So what do I do here? I'm going to divide across with minus sign, that is minus 1. So remember here, there is plus sign here, 1 is positive here. So dividing across, I'm going to have minus there, minus 1. So, and this, I'm going to divide across here too, because minus sign is going to affect there is minus sign here, so this is going to affect it. Minus in mathematics is a plus, so I'm going to put plus here, then surd 2. Okay, so I have minus 1 plus surd 2 as the answer, or you can decide to write because minus 1 plus surd 2 is the same thing as surd 2 minus 1. So this is equal to the same thing as surd 2 minus 1 as the answer. This is the answer. So writing plus sod 2 before minus 1 is the same thing. So now I'll be doing the same here. I'll be looking at this second question, last question, the fifth question says 2 plus, rationalize the denominator, 2 plus sod 3 divided by 3 minus sod 3. So I'm going to do the same. I'll look for the conjugate of 3 minus sod 3. Remember I said you just change the sign. So interchange between plus and minus sign for you to find the conjugate of a sod. And this is 3 minus sod 3. So the conjugate of 3 minus sod 3 is going to be, I'll multiply, is going to be 3 plus sod 3. Remember what I said? So I'm going to multiply both the numerator and denominator with 3 plus sod 3. So doing that, I'll have 3 plus sod 3 divided by 3 plus sod 3. So then I'll put brackets. In this case, I'm going to go direct. I'm going to go straight using difference of two squares here in order to simplify the denominator. But here I can't use difference of two squares because they are not the same. The signs are the same. So it doesn't, in the numerator, the difference of two squares doesn't apply for you to expand the bracket or multiply out. So this is going to be in this case I'm going to use everything here in the bracket. In the first bracket, multiply everything in the second bracket. Doing that, I will have 2 times 3 is going to give me 6. Then 2 times plus sod 3, that will give me 2 sod 3. 2 sod 3. Then I'll do the same with sod 3. So 3 times sod 3, that is going to give me plus 3 sod 3. Then sod 3 times sod 3, that will give me sod 9. That's square root of 9 divided by. Now remember I said I'm going to use difference of two squares here to make it easy. So because this is a difference of these two numbers, this is the sum of these two numbers, and when you multiply them is the product. So difference of two squares is the product of their sum and the difference. So what I need to do is to square the first number and the last number. So the first number is 3. I'm going to square it. That is 3 square. Okay, remember I'm going to put minus. Minus is difference. Then I'll square the third number, 3 square. Okay. Now, so this is the same thing as, remember this is square root of 9. So I'm going to have, what I need to do, because this and this are like terms, sod 3 is a common factor. So I'm going to say 2 plus 3. That will give me 5. So I'll write 6 plus 5 sod 3 plus square root of 9 is 3 divided by 3 square is 9. Then sod 3 square, remember this 2 is going to cancel out the square root, because sod 3 square is sod 3 times sod 3. That will give me sod 9, and sod 9 is 3. So sod 3 square is the same thing as 3. Okay, so now what I need to do here is the answer is out already. So 6 and 3 are like terms. Okay, so that's going to give me 9. 6 plus 3 is 9. So I'll have 9 plus sod 3. 9 plus 5 sod 3. 9 plus 5 sod 3, because this is 5. So because I said 3 plus 6 is going to give me 9 divided by, so I have 9 minus 3 is 6. 9 minus 3 is 6. So the answer is this. 9 plus 5 sod 3 divided by 6. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel.